Hey, how's it going, YouTube people? I am making this video to kind of talk about the real life numbers I'm getting with my Superpedestrian Copenhagen wheel. I ordered this last Thursday from Fixation here in Milwaukee. They're actually one of the companies that you can get this wheel built up with, right from Superpedestrian. But I ordered it on Thursday. It came about a week later on the Friday, so 8 days. I got the hybrid tire, black rim. It came with, I think, a 1234 cassette. I didn't actually know it was going to come with a cassette, so that was kind of nice. I have it on a Surly cross-check that I have set up as a 1x9, as you can see here. I used to ride this bike, with anywhere from like a 34 to a 38 front chain ring. I switched it out to a 42 just because, I knew that I'd be kind of going faster, so just wanted something bigger on the front. So I just did my first trip with it. I like technology, but am not that savvy, so I just have a quick screenshot. This is the trip that I just did. So 15.9 miles, took me 56 minutes, 17.1 average speed. And this is a good, kind of shows you the route that you just took, and then there's this interesting kind of thing you can scroll through, and it moves the point on your trip and tells you, the effort you were putting in versus your wheel. So it's kind of interesting. You can see sort of like just to the up above the connect button, that's sort of a spot where as I'm accelerating, I don't have to put that much power in, but the wheel's putting a lot of power in, which is kind of one of the things I really enjoyed about this ride. The fact that everyone talks about the hills and stuff, but for me, I kind of wanted to go over the numbers just because in my research it was really hard to find exact numbers and kind of information as far as real world ranges that people were getting and just kind of experience in general. So for that trip, I had the wheel fully charged when I started, and did almost 16 miles, had 38% when I got home. So 60% of the battery used to go 16 miles. I had it in the standard setting on the app. I'm a big person, so I'm 6'3", 220. So I don't expect to get maximum ranges just because I'm probably bigger than the average person that's going to be using this. It's also 45 degrees today. I mean, my experience with electric vehicles is that's kind of actually the bottom temperature. Any colder than that and you start to really get reduced range. So I would expect that could go up a little more as far as it gets warmer, but it's not cold enough to have super affected my range. But like I said, I'm 220. I kind of did a little just bathroom scale measuring. This rig right here, I had panniers on it. I got some junk in the panniers, stuff I needed to carry, as well as your spare and pump and things like that. But this rig in its entirety with me on it, 276.5 pounds. So not exactly a small thing, for this wheel to be moving. So I think for the fact that it was in standard, the fact that I got 16 miles with 60% battery, that's pretty good, I feel like. If they're saying 30%, or I'm sorry, 30 miles on eco, and I'm in standard, I think that's really great. I didn't ever have a speedometer on this bike or a bike computer, so speed-wise, I'm not entirely sure. But I'm not super strong right now. I'm not in that great a shape. Most of my trip was either into the wind or, half into the wind. I don't think I'd have been able to do that trip any faster than, 12 or 13 miles an hour. Given, like I said, that between my fat ass and this setup, you're 276 pounds is a lot of mass to move. So don't judge me, but yeah, 12, 13 miles an hour. And I was able to do, an average speed of 17.1. And what I really loved, so I just want to say real quick, the kind of pros and cons of, or maybe not cons, but more just like the unexpected, parts of the experience. My first ride, super fun. I test rode this on a fixation single speed in turbo. It kind of just felt like being superhuman, just amazing. Just felt like I was 19 in the greatest shape of my life, which was addictive, and immediately felt like I had to have it. So ordered it that day, but I was a little kind of apprehensive that it would take the work out of riding. Absolutely did not. It's still super fun, but I was working to maintain that 17 miles an hour for sure. I was definitely putting quite a bit of effort in. So it was still good exercise. What I really enjoyed is like I talked, kind of mentioned before, just being able to start, kind of go from a stop to that 17 miles an hour. That part was much more pleasant. I kind of feel like for me, being a bigger person, especially, the kind of effort that it takes to get up to speed is certainly not my favorite part of riding a bike. That cruising along at 17, 18 is the part that I love. So, that was really great. It's quiet. You don't know you have it on there other than, same amount of effort, but I'm going 5 miles per hour faster. And that's exactly what I was looking for. That's my commute from work to home. And so for me, it was about being able to do that in 45 to 55 minutes instead of an hour and 20 minutes, because then, that half an hour, it starts to, so there and back, that's an hour. It starts to lengthen my day to the point where, I can't get home to let my dogs out and things like that. So for me, it was all about just, making that commute a little faster. The only thing that I kind of, felt like was unexpected, like I said, on that test ride, I hopped on that fixation single speed, and, with what felt like very little effort, was doing 22 miles an hour, 23, in turbo. So this experience, and like I said, I'm kind of hamstringed because I never had a computer on here, but there were kind of times where I felt like it was really hard to tell, whether the wheel was holding me back or I was holding it back. Just kind of a weird drag, once you start creeping up to that 20 miles an hour. So I don't know if that's, when it's on standard, is it kind of, it turns itself off, to the point where it's just your muscles pushing, and certainly doing 20 on this rig, with the kind of drag, a little more drag that you would have with this setup. Yeah, just that part was really weird, but again, I don't know, if I was ever hitting speeds like 20, 21, 22 before, anyway. I know down hills, this was definitely stopping me from going faster. One advantage, the only advantage to 276.5 pounds is that when you do get to a downhill, you kind of go down it fast. And this definitely a hill that I felt like I would be normally going a lot faster. I don't know the exact speeds because I didn't have a bike computer, but it would have been faster than the 20 miles an hour that I was going, while still giving a fair amount of effort, to do that. So yeah, the only other thing, the regenerative braking, I never had a coaster brake as a kid, so I've always felt them, they were always awkward to me. This does not feel awkward. It's amazing. I mean, it's really, really nice when you just want to like slow down, because sort of 2/3 or half of that, 2/3 of that trip is on a bike path. And so, there's some turns, corners, whatnot on that bike path that just super nice to be able to, pedal backwards. I had it set in half, because you can adjust the sensitivity. I had it right in the middle. I'm going to adjust that, do a ride with it turned all the way up, do a ride with it turned way down, and just kind of see where I like it. But really nice just to be able to slow down, not even, it's awesome if it is getting, some electricity back, but, just really nice, kind of more convenient to kind of slow down that way. Yeah, I found that really nice. But so anyway, so there's my numbers. Awesome first ride. I love this thing so far. Just kind of, yeah, I love the technology. I love the idea. I want to be riding my bike more. I'm sure that there are a lot of people like myself who, especially in the early part of the season in Wisconsin, it's hard to kind of get out there if you're not always feeling like you're in the best shape, and this kind of just makes it that much easier to take that first step. So yeah, so I'll put up kind of more videos as I have more rides with this thing, as I kind of get different ranges, put it in eco, put it in turbo, maybe don't put my panniers on and go for a ride with a few less pounds, see if that makes any difference. Obviously, as I get stronger, over the next month or two, just kind of see, what happens as the temperature goes up, as I get stronger. All those variables, that will help people kind of make the real world decision as to whether the Superpedestrian Copenhagen Wheel is right for them. So, all right, thanks. I will talk to you guys soon.